That's right, that's right. We're back in the place right now. It's 90.9 FM KHDC Radio Bilingue here in Salinas, Santa Cruz, and Monterey. 104.1 FM out there, Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy. Everywhere on the planet at WednesdayRec.com. Yours truly, Kazzeo.
And Mr. Escobar.
That's right. Joined by a very special guest, superstar, making a lot of waves in the Bay Area. 1 a.m. back on the show. What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Good to have you back on the show.
Thanks for having me back.
I see you doing a lot of work over since the last time you were here.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff we got to talk about. Also, you got a couple shows coming up, so we got to, definitely get the word out about those. But, we gotta talk about one of the big things you had since you were last here was the I'm All Bars contest.
Oh, yeah.
Which Salinas' own Once was the winner.
Shout out Once.
Talk to me about the premise of what the contest was about, and what are you looking to do out of it?
Well, for one thing, I've noticed that a lot of people have been telling me like this is their first time really doing something like this. Like a lot of artists are kind of a little, I guess, afraid to show their face. So like some people that are, new and getting into it. So this kind of like helps encourage that, to like show your face, put it out there, just have fun with it. So, and then I get to produce all the beats and I just hear everyone spit bars on it. So that's pretty much it for the love of hip hop.
Now, was it like one particular beat that you had everybody rhyme to, or did you like, have different beats where people could like rhyme on?
Yeah, I think I had like 5 or 6 different beats, and I tried to like do a bunch of different styles. So I had like hip hop, trap, I had like some Bay Area stuff, like just kind of like a mix, like all around.
Do you
How many participants did you end up having?
I think there was more than last time, so I think it was like about 23 or 24,
wow.
if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
And you were getting participants from like all over the country, right?
Yeah, there was a dude from Chicago. I can't think off top right now, but
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Canada?
Canada? No,
Somewhere
it wasn't
in the
Canada.
city.
I actually, Toronto, Canada.
Was,
yeah,
right?
there was a few. Like,
Nice.
it's really cool.
Nice. So, when you see that your stuff is getting exposed like that, and people are taking notice, I mean, what goes through your mind? I mean, how do you feel about that?
I feel like just excited that I'm able to like make a difference, with my music, and just even if it's just beats, like I'm able to kind of like inspire other people to get out of their shells and like go for it,
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the, I guess the main prize of the contest, which, Once won, was the ability to do a song with you. So where are we at as far as that? I mean, have you done any like pre-production, or, in talks still, negotiating contracts? What's the deal?
Well, I gave Once his exclusive beat, and then I allowed him to pick another beat that we can collab on. And I'm kind of just waiting on him. I'd like to really just follow his lead on it and give him like creative control on it. So kind of just waiting on him.
So there's no deadline?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was like, hey, we got to do this by the end of the year because I got a new album coming out and I don't want to...
I mean, I could hit him with that, but I know like everybody, we doing a lot of stuff, so I kind of want to just leave it open and, move at our own pace because it's no rush.
Very, very laid back, very civil approach.
Yeah.
To that. Well, definitely looking forward to hearing, when the time is right, the fruits of that labor. Was there anyone that submitted something that you were like, well, I wasted my beat on this?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything, but it's all love. It's all love. I mean, I'm pretty open with telling people like, hey, like, I think you can improve on this, but I wasn't gonna like bash anyone.
No, you don't have to bash it, but we can just still say, hey, maybe keep working at the gas station. This rap thing might not be for you. But so you've been doing a lot of stuff around the Bay Area. I've seen a few things posted up. This Friday, you got a big show in downtown Santa Cruz. A lot of people on that bill, including I got it written down here. Alwa Gordon is performing. Khan, our boy Khan,
Hey.
Santo Martinez, and a few others. That's Friday night in downtown Santa Cruz. If you need the specific details, you could go on 1AM's Instagram or Twitter. You got all the info up there, right?
Yep, on my website too, iam1am.com.
There you go. There you go. But you know, there's a lot of things to talk about, but you know, I went out to a show a couple weeks ago at the same venue where you're performing this Friday night, and you were supposed to be there, but unfortunately, circumstances derailed that. In that was a day after the tragedy in Gilroy. Talk to me a little bit about how you felt as the news came out and you learned exactly what happened, and I mean, where do you stand on all that?
Yeah, that day I was kind of going crazy, and well, my boyfriend's here, he could tell you, I was calling everyone and just trying to like make sense of it all, like that's never happened, you know what I mean? It's like a small town, nothing ever happened, kind of that whole thing. But we were gonna go that day as well. My friend, he ended up just telling us like, hey, we're gonna fix my brakes, so I'm not gonna go. So we ended up going to the beach, and then as soon as we got back to Gilroy, my mom hit me with that, and she's like, don't go over there to Christmas Hill, there's like a live shooter and stuff like that. And then I was like, what? So then I go on Twitter, I go on Google, just making sure like it's not a fake, because there's been a few things that are kind of like But yeah, once it was, I was just watching it go crazy on Twitter and like on the news, everything. It was so much.
It was definitely a big story nationwide, but sadly, being that so much of this happens on almost like a daily basis, it kind of seems like it was front and center on the news, and then Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso happened, and Gilroy kind of got thrown to the back a little bit. It's like, hey, we lost people too.
Yeah. I think it's because perhaps, I mean, I don't know how to say it without it sounding bad, but I don't want it to sound bad, but, I mean, luckily the shooter in Gilroy wasn't, like, experienced, so he only, like, took 3 lives, but those lives matter, but it's, like, in the other places, like, a lot of people's lives have been taken, so I guess maybe that's why the media is just kind of going crazy over there. But either way, like, there is a problem here that needs to be addressed, and it's continuously following the same pattern,
Yeah. So I mean, does some artists kind of keep things like that private, but is 1AM political in any way? Do you like get out and like advocate for anything, or you just kind of keep it to the music?
I mean, in my personal life, I'm not very political, but I do I understand certain things that I feel like are not right, and if I feel like something needs to be fought for, then I'll be there, you know what I mean? Like, we were there in Morgan Hill, protesting against ICE, and just stuff like that. Like, I'm not all crazy Democrat, Republican, whatever, but some people like to put labels, and I'm not that person. But if there's something that's important, I'm gonna fight for it.
But let's just say though, but you do vote, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because there's a lot of people that say, oh, it doesn't matter, so why should I even bother?
No, I vote.
Yeah, you can't think like that. You can't think like that. All right, well, you know what? I got one of your songs here, Young. We're gonna jump into. Hoping to get some new music from you soon. I know you got a new album you're working on, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep our ears open for that.
Oh, yeah.
But this right here, 1AM Young, she's going to be sticking around for a little while longer to talk about some more stuff, as long as we don't upset her and have her run out. So keep it right here. This is 90.9 FM KHDC in Salinas, Santa Cruz, and Monterey, and 104.1 FM out there in Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy, and everywhere on the planet worldwide at WednesdayRec.com. That's right, we're back in the place right here. It's 90.9 FM KHDC Radio Bilingue here in Salinas, Santa Cruz, Monterey. You know the deal. Also 104.1 FM out there in Hollister, San Juan, Batista, and South Gilroy, and worldwide at WednesdayRec.com. Yours truly, Kazzeo, back in the place, joined still by the one and only 1 a.m.
What's that?
What's going on, young lady?
What's up? What's that?
We're having a very political conversation here in studio. I know you don't want to get too political on the air, but it's very good to see someone with your knowledge and your understanding of the current climate, shall we say so.
Gotta stay educated.
Have to. So, we mentioned it earlier, this Friday night you're doing a show in downtown Santa Cruz along with Alwa Gordon, Khan, Santo Martinez, Nate Flood, LT from LV, I assume that's Las Vegas, and I'm sure there's a couple other ones. A big freestyle cypher at midnight.
Yeah.
Once again, it's in downtown Santa Cruz. If you need the exact info, go to
iam1am.com.
Exactly. All the info is there. And then the following week, August 31st, you got a big show here in Salinas with a lot of people, including Sofa Queen, Solar, Talented, Khan, Warhead, Alwa Gordon, Panda Labs, Ant Serrato, Santo Martinez, and many more. That's big. That's the 831 Fest. How were you approached to get involved in that? Because technically, you're 408, right?
Yeah.
So how'd you get involved with that?
Solar actually hit me up, and he was just telling me that he's going to be throwing that, but I didn't know it was like going to be that crazy big, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it, and then it turns out that it's this really big event, so I'm like, wow, like, I'm down. There's a lot of talented people, so
you're kind of like the special attraction, being that you're technically a 408er.
I suppose.
But
I do have respect for 831 because I did live in Hollister for a while, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's close.
That counts.
How will the shows this Friday and the following week differ, or will they differ at all?
They will differ because I have unreleased music that I'm going to be performing at these shows.
At both shows, or are you saving the unreleased stuff for one show and doing the hits at the other?
Both of them. So I'm going to be performing obviously different unreleased stuff, but each one will have unreleased music. So I'm really excited to just share it, and I've been holding back a lot of stuff, so I kind of want to just like release it.
One thing I noticed, when I saw you perform at the Crepe Place a couple months ago in Santa Cruz, and one thing is you come out with a lot of energy, and there's not a lot of like in between songs, like talking and kind of wasting time. Like, you're pretty much right. Let's do this. Let's knock out these songs. Is it hard? I mean, the set that I saw you do was probably about 12 minutes long, and it was nonstop energy. Is it hard to maintain that from start to finish, or you just have good cardio?
Sometimes it is. I think that one I actually took my jacket off too. It was really hot, but yeah, you gotta have water on stage. You gotta really take care of yourself beforehand. That was only a short set because we were running out of time, so I was just trying to do it so that the next act could go on. But for the most part, if I do have stuff on my heart, then I will talk in between songs. But most of the time, I kind of want to just say a little bit and then have it projected in the song.
You're more of the music speaks for itself type of person.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there. I also had heard that, I think you mentioned this on when you were on the Saturday sesh. You mentioned that you're not necessarily big on freestyling. You're more of you like to do written stuff.
Yeah, I'm a songwriter.
Is that like an aspect of your your ability that you wish you could improve on, or are you working on that, or is that something you're just going to leave alone?
I mean, I really love and respect freestyling, but I just personally feel like it's not my strong suit, and if I'm focusing on a lot of different things, so I feel like to me that's not the most important thing for me to focus on. I'm more focused on songwriting and production. So I mean, you know, a lot of like my artist friends will like be like, nah, you gotta learn how to freestyle, you're not a real rapper, blah blah blah. But I mean, I'll freestyle and have fun with it, but for real, like I don't feel like that's my strong suit, so I won't really focus too much on it.
You know, being that you're singer-songwriter / producer, which aspect do you prefer? If you can only do one, would you rather produce or would you rather songwrite?
Oh, that's hard. Man, that's hard. I'd say produce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun making music.
So, I mean, is there anybody that you have in studio now that you're looking to produce for, or are you just, you know, whoever comes along type thing?
I've personally been wanting to produce with Glorious. She's an artist out in Gilroy, but she's still kind of getting out there and stuff, but hopefully I'll get to work with her one of these days and just, like, I'm really into, like, artist development, so that kind of stuff, like, interests me, so I think if I had to pick an artist, I would pick her first.
It's very interesting that you mentioned her because she's on one of the songs that I got coming up in just a second. But, you know, once again, you got the show this Friday night in downtown Santa Cruz. I believe it starts at 8 o'clock, and very, very cheap to get in. You know, you can count on one hand, you know, how much it costs to get in. If you need all the info, once again, go to
iam1am.com.
And then the 831 Fest, which is here in downtown, or not downtown, but in Salinas on August 31st. That starts at 6 o'clock. It's on a Saturday, and tons of artists on that. That's like, you know, everybody in the 831 that's making, you know, music right now is going to be performing out there. Maybe, you know, who knows, maybe 1AM will pull Once on stage and they'll do something together on the spot, spontaneous, you never know. But with your social media contacts, how can people catch up with you there?
All my social media it's 1AM somewhere, ITS, the number 1, AM, somewhere.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Very, very straight to the point, yes. So catch her on Instagram, catch her on Twitter, and she's not really on Facebook though, right?
No, I'm sorry.
Got to work on that, because a lot of people, you know, are on Facebook, so
yeah.
that might be another avenue to let the world know about 1AM. Well, I want to thank you for coming through this week. As always, it's great having you in studio. And when that new album's ready, you got to come back.
Definitely.
Got to have you back in here. So, got a couple 1AM songs here we're going to get into. But for all intents and purposes, we're pretty much done for this week. Check it out. She mentioned her earlier, 1AM featuring Glorious. This is Bring It Live. And then a little song called Off Top.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace. Love.